Good evening and welcome. I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. Now, more details are surfacing about an overcrowded ship that sank in the Mediterranean Sea between Libya and Italy last week. The UN Refugee Agency says that up to 500 migrants may have died in the tragedy. The Somali government says about 200 or more Somalis may have perished when the ship went down. After talking to survivors, UNHCR says the overall death toll may even be higher. Now, 37 men, 3 women and 3-year-old child survived the disaster after being rescued by a merchant ship. The surviving group that was taken to Greece on April 16th included Somalis, Ethiopians, Egyptians, and 1 Sudanese. The survivors recounted that they had been among 100 to 200 people who had set sail from Libya last week bound for Italy. After several hours at sea, human traffickers on board the vessel tried to move them onto a bigger ship that was already packed with migrants. The ship sank before the survivors could board it. Now, to fill in the gaps in this tragedy, reporter Nick Barnets joins me live via Skype from Athens, Greece. Now, Nick, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, first, do you know of any rescue or search mission out there up to this point?
There haven't been any reports of a search and rescue mission, at least from anywhere from Greece as of yet. Right now, the assessments are still being made by the authorities and by the UNHCR based on the accounts of the survivors that were taken to the southern Greek city of Kalamata to find out where exactly this ship may have gone down and where they can pinpoint where they could see if there is anything else out there. But because this reportedly happened now almost a week ago, the chance that there may be any more survivors, unfortunately, is slim to none by this point.
Now, you know, things have been quiet since the last year's big tragedy again. Are we likely to see similar tragic incidents now as the weather improves, or are there other reasons why this might be actually something to worry about?
This is definitely something to worry about, as the main route that many migrants and refugees are taking is shifting back to the Libya-Italy route as opposed to the Aegean route between Turkey and Greece, which had become a major source, a major transit point over the past year. Now with the EU-Turkey deal, which stipulates that migrants and refugees coming into Europe that way will be are subject to deportation back to Turkey. The routes are being more frequently taken again between Libya and Italy, which is of course much more dangerous because the Mediterranean Sea is much wider, and also just the fact that they have to leave from Libya, which is in itself still in a state of crisis, whereas opposed to Turkey things are a little more stable. So it adds a tremendous amount of risk to the route that the migrants and refugees trying to get to Europe have to assess.
Now, Nick, we talk about the Mediterranean, such a wide, vast sea there. What efforts are there in patrolling that area? We know that Frontex was trying to do something, but is it even possible?
Well, there certainly have been more Frontex ships, more patrols coming in to try to put a stop to this. But of course, because the sea is so vast, and because if you close one route and keep an eye on one route, then another one will open, because a lot of the smuggling rackets operating in these areas, be it from Northern Africa or the Middle East or Southern Europe, have been operating for quite some time, and so there's definitely where there's a will, there's a way, as we've seen, because when efforts to stop the Libya-Italy route went into effect more than a year ago, then we saw the shift go from Turkey to Greece. So now that more attention has been put on that, it's shifting backwards in this vicious cycle.
Well, thanks a lot, Nick. Nick Barnets reporting live via Skype from Athens in Greece.